Do you often feel like you have little or no control over your life? Do you often find it difficult to trust yourself? Are you constantly comparing yourself to others? Have you ever found yourself engaging in people-pleasing behavior? People who regularly struggle with such thoughts and indulge in such behaviors are often struggling with low self-esteem. This podcast will give you a better insight into how to cope with low self-esteem and enhance your overall well-being. Hello and welcome. I am Dr.Prerna Kohli, a clinical psychologist and the founder of MindTribe. At MindTribe we provide affordable counseling, support groups, communities, workshops, and e-learning for mental health. Self-esteem can be understood as your overall sense of personal worth. It is highly subjective and varies from person to person. Self-esteem affects how we feel, think, and even behave. When we were children, most of us saw life with rose-colored glasses and believed we could be anyone we want or do anything we like. Even though the adults around us thought differently, we still believed in the magic of dreams, hopes, and aspirations. Eventually, many of us stopped believing in ourselves and our abilities and started to seek approval and validation from outside sources. Self-esteem is diverse and has many forms. If you are someone who is optimistic, curious, and expressive, then you have a good amount of self-esteem. People having high self-esteem make their own decisions, have loving relationships, are better achievers, and live a more successful and fulfilled life. Low self-esteem is described as valuing yourself negatively. People with low self-esteem tend to be people pleasers. They often criticize themselves and tend to question their judgments. They constantly doubt themselves and their abilities. Low self-esteem makes people think critically of themselves. People having low self-esteem often blame themselves for everything and they are harsh critics of themselves. Low self-esteem can cause people to lack confidence and become extremely conscious of themselves. They often doubt and worry about the choices they make. Even after making a choice, they tend to stick with what other people tell them to do. Self-esteem is very fragile and can change over time. A distressful and excruciating childhood is one of the reasons why many people suffer from low self-esteem. When an authority figure or parent tends to criticize and evaluate the child despite the child's best efforts, the child learns to seek validation from an outside source and starts believing he is not good enough. The advent of social media and its growing popularity amongst the youth is another reason for the decline in self-esteem. Bullying experienced in childhood or even at the workplace also causes self-esteem to reduce considerably. Spend a couple of minutes to think, what are the areas of your life where you feel your self-esteem is deflated? It can be work, relationships, school, or even when you are with certain friends or people. Pay attention to the thoughts that pop up in your head and make note of them. Gradually, when you find time, just check with yourself and ask yourself, are any of these thoughts true? Challenge your negative beliefs and try to find out why you feel this way. Now what you can do is slowly replace these thoughts with positive and more reassuring thoughts. Coping with low self-esteem takes a little time, but here is what you can do to boost your self-esteem. Spend more time doing things that you are good at. Everyone is good at something. Look out for things that you are fond of and practice them regularly. It will not only enhance your mood but also increase your confidence. Try to say no. People with low self-esteem often comply with other people's demands even though they don't believe in their demands. This can be avoided by simply saying no to the things you don't like or don't want to do. Sometimes saying no can be difficult and may make you conscious, so if you are in a position where you can't say no, try using phrases like "I'll let you know," or "let me think and get back to you." Be gentle with yourself. In moments when you indulge in negative self-talk and criticism, ask yourself, what would a loved one say to me in a similar situation? Start setting goals. Goals don't have to be all large and elaborate. You can start by setting simple goals like, today I will wake up early and make sure to achieve them. The sense of accomplishment often boosts our confidence and self-esteem. Appreciate yourself, give yourself credit for the things you do, and encourage yourself by speaking positive words every day. Raising self-esteem might take a little time and effort, but during that journey, don't forget to be compassionate and gracious to yourself. Accept your flaws and love yourself the way you are. Before we conclude this podcast, I would like to take a moment and give you some affirmations to boost your self-esteem. Let's begin. Take a deep breath and relax your mind and body. Now let's repeat each of these affirmations 3 times. I choose to let go of all the negative beliefs that have stood in the way of my success and prosperity. I am confident about my abilities. I have amazing strength within me. I love and approve of myself. My potential is unlimited. I am at ease with myself. Take a little time out every day to speak out these above affirmations, and you will gradually notice a slight shift in your self-esteem. Dr. Prerna Kohli, thank you for listening to this podcast. I am certain that this must have helped you gain some insight into what self-esteem is and its importance. If you or someone you know suffers from low self-esteem, please urge them to seek counseling from a trained and experienced psychologist.